season of Hayes Larks Baseball. Tonight's non-league contest is the first game of a 9-game homestand for the Larks and features from the KCLB, the Kansas Cannons from Augusta, Kansas, and from the Rocky Mountain Baseball League, your Hayes Larks. The Larks enter tonight's game at 6-1 on the season, 3-1 in the RMBL, while the Cannons are 6-6 overall and 4-2 in the KCLB. Free admission to tonight's game has been made possible through the generous sponsorship of iSmile Vision and Dental and Messiah Lutheran Church in Hayes. We greatly appreciate these fine people and their support of Hayes Larks Baseball. Let's meet tonight's starters for your 2021 Hayes Larks. Leading off and playing second base from the University of Sioux Falls, number 2, Brad Long. Second, playing shortstop from the University of Texas at Arlington, number 3, Matt Kavanaugh. Third, the designated hitter from UTA, number 16, Wyatt Davis. For the Larks from Fort Hays State University, the left fielder, number 21, Grant Smith. Fifth, the third baseman from Cochise Community College, number 17, Cam Pearson. Next for the Larks from the University of Oklahoma, the first baseman, number 28, Cade Burbow. Seventh, center fielder from the University of Texas at Arlington, number 12, Zach Henry. For the Larks from Butler Community College, number 25, Brock Loomis. For the Larks from Hayes, the right fielder at number 33, Dylan Riley. And tonight making the pitching start for the Larks from Dodge City Community College, number 6, Trey Reyes. And in his 40th season with the Larks, please welcome the head coach, Mr. Frank Leo. Larks.
for the Hayes Larks. All of my friends are gonna be there too. Nothing in the world I'd rather do than grab a hot dog burger and a cold beer. You'll hear me yelling out a big cheer, 'cause whether they win or whether they lose, I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. Hayes Larks! I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. I can't wait to see a home run. I know for sure there's gonna be one. I'll call out the players by their first name. Sure am glad I made it to the game. Rain or shine, I'm gonna be there. If the stands are full, I'll bring a lawn chair. So join me down at the old ballpark. I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. Hayes Larks! So join me down at the old ballpark. I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. Hayes Larks!
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to game number 8 of the 2021 Hayes Larks season, their 75th anniversary season. This is a matchup here between your Hayes Larks and the Kansas Cannons. Leading off for the Cannons will be Miles Beal, the shortstop out of Northwood University. Caleb Blasi on deck with Jordan Ellison in the hole for the Cannons. On the mound for Hayes, getting his first start of the season, will be Trey Riggs out of Dodge City Community College. This one's grounded to Grant Lung on the second pitch of the ball game. He tosses it to Cade Brown for the first out here at the top of the first. First pitch clocks in at 7:07 p.m. here in Hayes, Kansas. So I bring up Caleb Blasi to the box. Blasi, the right fielder, out of Dodge City CC, teammates with the pitcher, Trey Riggs. Riggs, a 6-foot sophomore from Hayes, Kansas, made 13 appearances for the Conquistadors this spring, went 0-1 with a 6.27 ERA. This one is going to be over the head of Pearson, tries to make the catch, and there's a runner on first with nobody out. Larks coming to this game 6-1 on the year with a 3-1 record in conference play. This one a non-conference game. Larks were in the KCLB with the Cannons in 2019 and then joined the Rocky Mountain Baseball League last year. Taking off for second base is Caleb Blasi, and the throw is going to be into center field. Zach Henry races in his first start at center field, and will keep Blasi at second. At the dish now, it's Jordan Ellison for the Cannons. Ellison out of Barton Community College. Cannons come to this one 3-2 on the year, 2-1 in their division in the KCLB. They're second in the East on a one-game losing skid, half a game back from the Park City Rangers. Riggs throws a slider that almost hits Ellison and drops close to the zone. 2 balls and no strikes. Riggs comes into this game 0-1 on the season, has made 2 appearances, gone 3 2/3, allowing 6 earned runs and 4 strikeouts. This one's lined at him. It's going to go into center field, and a bad read from Blasio is going to end up keeping him from scoring. He just started to go back to the bag, thought Grant Lund could have had a play on it at second base, and by the time he went to third, Zach Henry was getting to that ball. Back-to-back singles for the Cannons with runners on the corners, 1 out. That brings up Trip Clark to the mound out at Angelo State University. Angelo State, a hot spot, used to be a hot spot for the Larks. Had Landon Shire last year from Angelo State, and the year before that, Justin Lee from Angelo State. First delivery from Riggs, off speed outside. Larks going to see a lot of pitchers today on the mound for them. Expect to see up to 7 guys. This is just game 1 of a 1-game series, just today only, versus the Cannons, after the Larks went 3-1 in Colorado over the weekend. This one drops low. Loomis blocks it and keeps the runner Ellison at first. Schoenfeld on deck with Tennell in the hole. Two balls, no strikes here for the catcher. This one is grounded back to Trey Riggs. Has a tough read on it. And the throw, he took his time with that one, and the runner is going to be safe. And Loomis taps his chest protector as if saying, that should have been mine. So a tough play, and it is ruled a hit here at Larks Park. 3 straight singles for the Cannons, loads the bases here with 1 out. Paul Schoenfeld to the box now. An outfielder out of Bishop Carroll High School in Wichita. Riggs goes from the stretch. This one swung just a little early. The high schooler a little excited, and it's foul. Another high schooler in the game, as for Hayes, it's Dylan Dreiling in right field, committed to Tennessee. No balls and a strike here with 1 away. This one misses just outside, 1-1. This is Riggs' second year with the Larks. Made 9 appearances for Hayes last year, went 1-1 with an ERA above 8. Through 12 innings, all 9 appearances were in relief. Struck out 13 and had a whip of 2.08. This one's going to be hit to left field. Grant Schmidt will get under it, takes a couple steps. The relay home will not be cut off by Pearson, and the throw was on time, just a little high and away from the box. And it's a sacrifice fly for Schoenfeld, and the Cannons take a 1-0 lead early. Their scoring was Blasi. For Blasi, that was run scored number 6 on the season. And for Schoenfeld, that is RBI number 1. Runners on first and second with 2 outs here in the top of the first. This one will be foul. 0-1. Larks defensively in this game, Grant Schmidt out in left field, Zach Henry in center, Dylan Dreiling in right field, Cam Harrison at third base, Matt Cavanaugh manning shortstop, Grant Long at second with Cade Brown at first place. Brock Loomis, the birthday boy, is the backstop. Do it for the Larks in the bottom of this inning will be Grant Long, Cavanaugh, and Divis. Cavanaugh getting his first start of the 2021 season. This is year number 3 with Hayes. Parker Tennell, the third baseman at the dish, takes his time getting set up. This one slides outside, 1 ball and a strike. Tennell, another guy out of Angelo State. One and two. Riggs made an appearance for Hayes back in 2019. The Larks played in 1 game against the Boulder Collegians. At that time, that was a non-league game. Now the Larks are in the same league as the Collegians after leaving the KCLB after just 1 year in the conference. 2 balls and 2 strikes, 2 outs, 1-0 lead for the Cannons. This one inside, it gets a swing and a miss, and on the drop third strike, Tennell is going to be aboard as it just got far away from Loomis. It's Ellison at third, Clark at second, Tennell at first as Carson Shively comes to the dish. Shively, an outfielder out of Barton. For Trey Riggs, that is strikeout number 5 on the season. Shively, a righty versus the righty Riggs. This one's going to be popped back, out of play and over the grandstand. 0-1 count, 2 outs here in the top of the first. Bases loaded. Shively looking to punish the Larks here for letting the inning continue. The 0-1 is going to be lined up the middle. It's going to go past Cavanaugh. Scoring from third is Ellison. And all the way from second, Clark will score as a throw is cut off by Cade Brown. And that's a single for Shively, the 4th single of the inning. Picks up 2 RBIs on 1 swing of the bat. That's the 4th run scored on the season for Jordan Ellison. And Tripp Clark just scored for the team lead 8th time this year. RBIs for Shively, number 2 and 3. Speed outside, 1-1. So now that that drop third strike proving costly here as that would have ended the inning. Instead, the Cannons tack on 2 more runs. Riggs goes home this one at the eyes, over the plate, 2-1. The 2-1 delivery catches the outside part of the plate. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two and 2 count. 2 on, 2 out. This one inside. Loomis slides to the left to block it. A couple guys standing out in the bullpen for the Larks. One of them is the catcher, Brady Evans, who will probably catch the next guy warming up. Along top of the first, Riggs goes home as the payoff pitch is swung on a miss. Strikeout number 2 on the day. Strikeout number 6 on the season for Trey Riggs. Cannons bring it 8 to the dish, take advantage of a 2-out drop third strike, score 2 after their first. They lead 3-0 as we move to the bottom of the first on Larks Network. Leading off the bottom of the first inning is Grant Long, who's getting his, I believe, 7th start of the season at second base. Yes, it is his 7th start. He bounces this one at the pitcher, Clay Westbrook, out of Pitt State. And that's the first out of the first.
From the University of Texas at Arlington, the shortstop, number 3, Matt Kavanaugh.
To the box now, Matt Kavanaugh, the shortstop, making his first appearance of the 2021 Hayes Larks season. Missed the first 3 games as he was still in Texas, and now is back with the team. Traveled to Denver with the team for the 4-game series this weekend and didn't pick up any playing time. First delivery to him in the zone for a called strike. Clay Westbrook's on the mound for the Cannons with Shively in left field, Schoenfeld in center, Blousy in right field, Tindall at third, Beal at short, and Ellison at first base. Clark behind the dish with Massino, the second baseman. Kavanaugh is going to have his first single of the year. It's a base hit, and he is aboard for the first time. A little repetitive there. Kavanaugh last year with the Larks had a lot of hits, spent a lot of time at the top of the order. And then I'll bring his teammate at UTA, Wyatt Divish, to the dish. Kavanaugh aboard at first with 1 out in the bottom of the first. Larks down 3-0. Kavanaugh last year had 36 hits. Has 35 more to go to tie that. Divis skies this one high over to the left field side, and it will be way out of play. Divis, a 5'10" senior out of UTA. 3 UTA Mavericks getting a start today. Kavanaugh batting second, Divis batting third, and then Zach Henry is batting seventh. Another foul ball from Divis, 0-2 count. Grant Schmidt on deck with Cam Pearson in the hole for Hayes. Larks batting order, Lung led it off, Kavanaugh batting second, Divis third, Grant Schmidt is today's cleanup hitter, Pearson fifth, Brown in the sixth hole, Henry, Loomis, and Drowling go 7, 8, and 9. The 0-2, again, a little late on this one, and is sending it into the Larks fan pavilion. So Divis does a nice job protecting the plate. Picked up a win on Monday in a great game. Larks were down 11-1 going into the fourth inning, and then rallied back and won 18-16 in 12 innings. It was Divis's third win of the season. This one outside, first ball thrown from Westbrooks to Divis. Westbrooks wants time. Westbrooks on the year, this is appearance number 3. Still no decisions on the mound, has thrown 9 innings, giving up just 1 earned run, makes for an ERA of 1 flat. Has struck out 6 guys, and all 3 of his appearances are now starts. Divis shows his veteran eye and lets this one miss just outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes on tonight's DH from Lincoln, Nebraska. The 2-2 line back and over the grandstand. Larks started the season out 4-0, dropped game number 5 against the Sox, and then have won their last 2, making them 6-1 on a 2-game winning streak. Westbrooks from Augusta, Kansas, where the Cannons are from, 6'2" sophomore, played at Barton before going to Pitt State. Kavanaugh, small lead at first base to throw home. Outside, Divis just having a great at-bat here with 1 away. It's been a long at-bat, getting Westbrook's pitch count high here early. For the Gorillas at Pitt State, Westbrooks went 0-1, throwing 9 1/3, and Divis fouls another one off to stay alive. Westbrooks had an ERA of over 10 at 10.61. Allowed 3 home runs, striking out 7, and walking just 1 batter. The payoff pitch to Divis, Kavanaugh takes off, and Divis fouls another one back. It's a double-digit AB. Schmidt still on deck with Pearson in the hole. See if Kavanaugh wants to run again here. Not a huge lead. The payoff pitch is going to be blooped into left center field. It's going to drop in front of Schoenfeld, and just a great at-bat for Divis. Puts 2 on with 1 out. Just battled there. To the box now, Grant Schmidt. For Wyatt Divis, that was single number 6, his 8th hit of the year. Kavanaugh at second with Divis at first as Schmidt's in the box. Schmidt fouls this one back. Schmidt comes to this game batting .444, has 9 RBIs and 8 runs scored. Currently leads the team in home runs with 3. Grant was on a hot streak against the Colorado teams this weekend, and just a tad early on his 0-1 delivery and sends it to the Larks dugout. Schmidt on Monday, 3 hits in 6 at-bats, also drove in 2 runs and scored 1 time. And umpire needed some additional baseballs from the dugout. We'll stay at 0-2 with 1 out. On deck, Pearson with Brown in the hole for your Hayes Larks. Westbrooks takes his time. The 0-2, chin level over the plate, 1-2 to Grant Schmidt on the off speed. Schmidt, a 6'3" junior from Fort Hays State, familiar with Larks Park. Westbrook looks at Kavanaugh, goes home, and Schmidt sends this one back. We'll stay at 1-2. Larks have done a nice job working pitch counts and staying alive with 2 strikes on him. Larks started this inning out with a Grant Lund ground outs. Then we went to Kavanaugh with a single, and then Wyatt Divis worked a great AB for a single with the AB going over 10 pitches. The 1-2, Schmidt a little behind, a little in front of the off speed, and he'll strike out. 2 outs with 2 on. For Clay Westbrook, that is strikeout number 7 on the season. Has walked just 2 guys. It's the first meeting between these 2 teams since early June of 2019, and Westbrooks will step off the rubber before facing Cam Pearson. Pearson on Monday, 2 for 6 with an RBI and a run scored. First delivery, a long curveball that somehow catches the outside part of the plate, 0-1. The 0-1 to Pearson. Found hard over to the right side, out of play, way high. Cam, after getting a lot of starts at first base to start off the season, getting his first start at third base of the year today. 6'2" freshman out of Cochise College in Arizona. He's originally from Gilbert, Arizona. Larks down by 3. The 0-2 outside on a slider. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Do it for the Cannons in the second inning will be Massino at the bottom of the order, then Beal and Blasi. And we'll just do up 1, 2, 3. Larks 2 hits in this inning versus the Cannons 4 on the top of it. Westbrook's trying to end the inning on this pitch. Pearson just fouls this one off the tip of his bat, 1-2. Staying alive with Brown on deck. Cannons had 4 hits. They left 3 on base and scored 3 runs in the top of this inning. Brought 8 total batters to the dish. Kavanaugh with a decent lead at second. Divis creeps down the first base line. And Pearson, a little late on this swing, sends it out of play. 1-2 will stay. Cam has power at the dish. Still looking for his first home run of the season. Had a few of them last year. Even had 2 in 1 game against the Collegians at their stadium. Led the team in total bases with 77, and he chops this one over to the right side. Massino can't make a play on it, and scoring from second will be Kavanaugh. Divis held at third. Larks cut the lead to 3-1. And we'll see what the official score says right here, whether that was a hit or an error. But either way, the Larks down by just 2, and they have runners on the corners. Scoring for the first time this year is Matt Kavanaugh. Cade Brown to the dish. Davis at third. Pearson at first. Still no word. And it is officially ruled a single for Cam Pearson. The third single of the day for Hayes. The 7th total single in this first inning combined for both teams. Takes off for second. Gets his first stolen base on the season. No throw. 0-1 on Brown. Brown did not travel with the team to Denver. Was battling a cyst. But we're glad to have him back in the order. He's batting .286. But has just 7 ABs on the year. 2 hits, both singles. And he scored 3 times. Swings and misses on 1 outside, 0-2. Been a long bottom of the first inning for both teams. 2 in scoring position, 2 outs here in the bottom of the first. Slight breeze moving in from right field on a very warm Wednesday evening. And a tough one to take, Brown does, and is going to be punched out for it. Westbrook strikes out his second of the inning, number 8 on the season. Larks get 3 hits, score 1 run, leave 2 in scoring position as we move to the second inning on Larks Network. Top of the second, we go from Larks Park, and after 1 inning and 2 strikeouts, 3 runs scored, it's a day for Trey Riggs. And replacing him will be Jake Fitzgibbons from the University of Tennessee, a 5'11" freshman. Just got to Hayes and is pitching in his first day with the team. 0-2, and Messino, the second baseman at the bottom of the order, will have to protect. Fitzgibbons from Mount Juliet, Tennessee, a southpaw, and in his freshman year made 7 appearances for the Volunteers, went 1-0. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Charles Messino, the second baseman, out of Pepperdine University. This one just misses 2 balls and 2 strikes. Fitzgibbons, one of 2 players on the team from the University of Tennessee, and one of 3 guys on the team that will be heading to Tennessee at some point. He'll be headed back there in the fall, but his right fielder, Dylan Dreiling, will be entering his junior year at Hayes High and then going to the University of Tennessee upon graduation. The first batter Fitzgibbons faces, he strikes him out. 1 away here in the top of the second. So that brings us to the top of the order again. Miles Beal, the shortstop, 0 for 1 on the day with a ground out to Grant Lung. 1-0. Fitzgibbons, a 2020 perfect game preseason All-American. The same year was a preseason All-Southeast region selectee, and the year before was a preseason underclass All-American. On the same recruiting service is rated the 19th overall player in Tennessee and the second left-handed pitcher in the state, the 19th overall nationally. 2-1 Fitzgibbons, now wasting time here in the second. Walked 6 batters and struck out just as many this year for the Volunteers. Had an opponent batting average of .333, and this one is going to be grounded to Kavanaugh. Fields it, throws to Brown, and there's 2 away in the top of the second. Larks have retired 3 straight. Now to the box, Cole Blasi, 1 for 1 on the day with a single, and he scored the first run of the game. Beal back to dugout, 0 for 2. 4 of Fitzgibbons' appearances were in relief, made 3 starts, and gave up just 13 hits. His delivery outside, 1-0. His teammate Cortland Lawson at the University of Tennessee will be joining the Larks later in the season, but is still with the team as they try to win a College World Series. Fitzgibbons was with the team for the Super Regional and the rest of the other postseason games. 1-1 with 2 away. Base is empty. This one is lined back, 1-2. Tennessee made it all the way to the SEC Championship game, but lost to the number 1 overall team, the Arkansas Razorbacks. But both teams have made it to the College World Series. This one high, 1-2 becomes 2-2. Arkansas did not make the College World Series. And Fitzgibbons picks up his second strikeout of the day. And his first appearance gets a 1-2-3 second inning against the Cannons. We go to the bottom half. Larks down by 2 on Larks Network.
What we do here is go back.
Bottom of the second inning for the Larks will be Zach Henry, the center fielder from the University of Texas at Arlington. 1-0 is the count on Henry. One and two count on Henry. On Monday's ball game, Zach scored 3 times and drove in 1, picked up 2 walks and 1 hit. Just a certified Larks Classic on Monday. A long game, ended up going 4 hours, and the Larks bus started up after the game and didn't get back to Hayes until 5:30 a.m. Henry will be down on strikes, the second straight batter that Westbrooks has retired, going back to the first inning. So they'll bring Brock Loomis to the dish. Tonight's starting catcher celebrating his 20th birthday. First delivery to Loomis outside, 1-0. Sends his second one over to the right side and out of play. One ball and 1 strike. Loomis didn't play on Monday's game. Got the start on Sunday against the Sox in a game the Larks won 5-1. The 1-1 with 1 away, Larks down by 2. Misses inside on a changeup, 2-1. This one just catches the inside corner. 2-2 count on Loomis. Loomis on the season, 2 hits and 9 ABs, 1 single, a double, and has driven in 3 runs. Works himself a full count against Westbrooks here. The payoff pitch sent to left field short, and Tennell won't even have to go into left field to get it. It's a pop-up for the second out of the second. So now that'll bring up Dylan Dreiling, tonight's starting right fielder. Played for the Larks in the first series against the Roughnecks and then wasn't able to play for the Larks in Colorado as they were league games. First delivery to Dreiling, the Tennessee commit, misses the zone, 1-0. 2 outs, nobody on in the bottom of the second. Hayes down by 2. This delivery does catch the outside part of the plate on a fastball, 2-2. Larks will be off tomorrow and will play 3 games against the Cougars on Friday, Saturday, Sunday here from Larks Park. 1-2 on Dreiling. Dreiling on the year, 3 hits in 4 at-bats, 2 singles, a double, drove in 4 runs and scored 2 times. Watches this one, misses zone, 2-2. His grandfather, Frank Leo, the third base coach and head coach, approaching 40 years as the coach of the Larks. Dylan chops this one over the left side. Westbrooks comes off the mound, but Dylan's speed enough to not warrant a throw. It's a base hit for the Larks with 2 outs. Dreiling records his 4th hit of the season. Brings us to the top of the order, Grant Long, who's 0 for on the day with a ground out to Westbrooks. That's the 4th hit of the game for Hayes. All 4 hits are base hits. Long sends this one to left field. I think it's going to drop, but it does drop. But that's in foul territory. Well hit ball, was well placed. Shively and Tennell weren't going to be able to get to it, but it misses just foul. So Grant will go back to the box with an 0-1 count. Kavanaugh on deck with Divis in the hole for Hayes. And we got movement in the pen for Hayes again. Like I said, expect to see 7 different pitchers today. Westbrooks looks over his left shoulder at Dylan Dreiling, gets his lead at first base, and he takes off. This one swung on and fouled over the Larks fan pavilion. Long fouls 2 balls off over the left field side. Down the count 0-2. Westbrooks looking to punch out his 4th batter of the day right here on the 0-2 delivery. Goes from the stretch, and Long sends this one to left field. It's going to drop in the same spot, but adjustments made by Shively after 2 balls go to the left side. Plays a little bit closer to the line and will make the catch in foul territory for the 3rd out. Larks get 1 single in the 2nd. They still trail by 2 as we move to the 3rd here from Hayes. Jake Fitzgibbons back to the mound for the 3rd inning of game number 8 of the 75th anniversary season for the Larks. This one will be fouled off 0-1 to the leadoff hitter, Jordan Ellison, who's 1 for 1 today with a single and a run scored. Good crowd here at Larks Park, a few hundred people. Not quite the same as opening day when there was 2,000 and then about 1,500 over the next 2 days. This one is fouled off 0-1. Fitzgibbons worked a 1-2-3 second, striking out the 1st and 3rd outs, and got a ground out to Kavanaugh off the bat to Miles Beal. 2-1 to Jordan Ellison. Ellison on the year batting .500. 2-2. Came into this game batting .500. That batting average has gone up. Has 4 hits now in 7 ABs. Larks fans, while you're watching the game, make sure to hit the subscribe button. And Fitzgibbons gets his 3rd punch out of the day. This one, the first one looking, has struck out consecutive hitters. But make sure to subscribe on YouTube. It's completely free. You won't get any emails or spam from us. No emails, no messages. It's completely free, and all it does is put the video in your subscription box on YouTube. And if you hit the notification bell, you'll get a notification on your phone each time we go live without having to set anything up. That way you'll never miss a minute of Larks action. But subscribing helps us over 2/3 of our viewers for the games aren't subscribed, and subscribing really helps out our broadcasts. The 0-1 becomes 0-2 as Fitzgibbons fires this one past Trip Clark, the catcher from Angelo State. Due up in the bottom of the third for Hayes will be Kavanaugh, Divis, and Schmidt. The 0-2 is hit to left field. Schmidt, about 5 feet in front of the warning track, takes a couple steps in and records the second out. I think he thought it was the third out as he starts to come to the dugout, but either way, a nice read from the left fielder, and there's 2 away. So I bring up Paul Schoenfeld, had a sacrifice fly in the first inning and broke the game open, driving in that first run. Oh, and 1 as shows a little bit of a bunt, and umpire gets him. 4 hits for each team, 3-1 lead for the Cannons at the Larks ballpark. This one's grounded to Grant Lung, fields it, takes his time, and throws to Cade Brown from the University of Oklahoma. Larks get a 1-2-3 inning, 6 batters faced for Jake Fitzgibbons, 6 outs, and we go to the bottom of the inning. Larks down by 2. Bottom of the third here from North Central Kansas. Matt Kavanaugh will lead it off. 1 for the day with a single, and in his second at-bat, singles his first pitch to right field, and he's aboard. Larks have their first leadoff runner of the game. And that is hit number 5 for Hayes today. So to bring up Wyatt Divis, the DH. Divis on the day, 1 for 1 with a single. Westbrook still on the mound. Divis, a righty, will bat from the left-hander's batter's box. Westbrooks gets set. Ignores Kavanaugh and goes home. And Divis swings and misses at this one. Divis, a veteran of, by all means, spent 2 years at Hutchinson JUCO and has spent 3 years at UTA, and this is year number 4 for the Larks. The 0-1 delivery, sky to right center field. It's going to drop and roll all the way close to the warning track, and Divis is going to have a double, and Kavanaugh's at third. Stadium coming alive. Go ahead run at the plates in the bottom of the third. For Wyatt Divis, that is extra base hit number 2 on the year. Number 3. He now has 6 singles, 2 doubles, and 1 home run. Divis at second, Kavanaugh at third. Nobody out here for Grant Schmidt. 0 for on the day, looking to change his luck today. in this at bat for today. Trevor Munch in the bullpen for Hayes, but it is Luke Terbeek in front of him throwing the warm-ups. Likely a day for Jake Fitzgibbons as the Larks have 5 more pitches to throw and only 6 innings to work with. The 1-0 is popped into right field. Blousy moves towards it, calls off Massino, and Kavanaugh will retreat back to third base. Still only 1 out. Now to Cam Pearson, who singled back in the first, loaded the bases on that one, and picked up an RBI. Did not load the bases, drove home Kavanaugh, but was a third base runner of the inning for Hayes. For Pearson, that was RBI number 9 on this season. He's tied for the team lead with Jeminian and Schmidt. Jeminian getting his first day off here today. Started in all 32 games last year for Hayes. This year getting an early rest day. This one's flying to right field. Blousy at the line. Kavanaugh is going to tag up. The throw, if it's on the line, would be in time, but the throw will be on time, and Kavanaugh dodges the tag as it's off the bag. Had it been accurate, Kavanaugh would have been out by 5 feet. Instead, it's Pearson's second RBI today and Kavanaugh's second run scored today. Divis moves up to third base. The Larks trailed just by 1 with 2 outs. So that'll bring up the beverage batter, Cade Brown. If you're new to Larks baseball, the beverage batter, if he gets a hit, half-price beverages for the remainder of the half inning for all Larks fans. And whenever they get a hit, the Larks fans rush to the beverage stand and the concession stand. 0-1 on Brown. Talked to a lot of Larks players, and some of them like being the beverage batter. It's a cool thing to be, but a lot of them don't like the pressure because the fans really want that hit. And they let the players know. 0-1 to Brown out of Oklahoma. Pearson back to the dugout. Stays at 1 for 1 with a sacrifice fly and a single. 1-1 to Brown. 2 outs, runner on third here in the bottom of the third. A little early on this one, slows the swing down and fouls it off the turf and fouls it off himself. Brown spent this past year with Oklahoma, but redshirted and will look to make his first appearance for the Sooners in 2022. Brown, for his previous Summer League team in 2019, had 11 RBIs and 25 total bases. 1-2 with 2 outs. This delivery home outside. Nice take from Brown, who struck out in the first. 2-2. Due up for the Cannons in inning number 4 will be Tennell, Shively, and Payne. After a long first inning, it's been a quick couple here, but Brown wants to continue this one. Skies this one a mile high over to the right side of the infield. Massino will be called off by Ellison, who makes the catch, a step into foul territory for out number 3. Larks get a run here in the third, leave a runner in scoring position, and they trail 3-2 as we go to the fourth from Hayes. after 2 innings and 6 outs, all consecutive for Jake Fitzgibbons. It's a day, and that'll bring Luke Terbeek to the mound. Terbeek, a righty out of Arizona Western, a 6'1 freshman born in New-Vennep, Netherlands, has spent time on the U18 Dutch national team and has a quick strike and then a ball on the leadoff hitter, Parker Tennell, the third baseman. Tennell 0 for 1 of the day, but did reach on a drop third strike. This one moves his head out of the way, 2-1. Shively on deck with Payne in the hole. That's who's due up for the Cannons here in this one. 2-1 in the zone from the knuckleballer. The Larks have had a knuckleballer on their team for the past 3 years. The previous 2 was Rustin Hayes, spending 2 years with the Larks. This one's grounded to Cam Pearson. A diving effort won't make the play. And the Cannons get their 5th hit, and there's a leadoff base runner. It's the first time they've had a leadoff runner. Well hit ball, just a tough play from Pearson. Now to Shively, who singled in the first and drove home 2. And a quick pickoff move, not in time, just trying to keep Tennell honest. Didn't have a huge lead and was just, in fact, starting his lead. Top of the 4th, Hayes down 3-2 against the Kansas Cannons. This one over the plate, eye level, 1-0. Movement in the pen for Hayes. It's a righty. And if I'm not mistaken, I think that's Palmer Hutchison, but I surely have to because he's not a pitcher. Castellucci was scheduled to go before Terbeek in the order. But it's a 1-1 count here to Shively nonetheless. Sun setting here in north central Kansas. Lights on here at Larks Park. A check over the runner, not in time. It's 405 to deep center. 349 in left center. 322 in the left field corner. 319 in the right corner and 349 in the right center field. Swing and a miss. 1-2 on Shively. And that is Hutchison in the bullpen. One and two, Terbeek again checking over at Tennell, paying a lot of attention to the third baseman out of Angelo State. Shively in the box, outfielder from Barton Community College, and the checks over were warranted as Tennell runs on this one, but his teammate Shively sends it into foul territory on the right field side. Wind picking up, moving in from left center. And it's going to be a strikeout for Terbeek here. The first out of the 4th inning. Gets Shively down on strikes. For Terbeek, that is strikeout number 9 on his season, has now thrown 9 full innings. Delivery home, 0-1. Loomis catches it in the zone. One away runner on first here in the top of the 4th inning. As I mentioned earlier, this is the first time these two teams have played since 2019. The Larks swept the 2-game series on the road, winning 13-1 in Game 1 and then taking Game 2, 12-0 on June 10th of 2019. So won with a combined score of 25-1 over the course of the 2 games. This one is going to be grounded to Grant Lung, waits on it as it chops and throws out Payne. The DH is now 0 for 2 at first base, but moving to third is Tennell. To a runner 90 feet from scoring. That brings up the bottom of the order, Charles Messino, the second baseman, who's 0 for on the day. This one is going to be grounded to Kavanaugh, fields it on the chop at the chest, and will throw out Messino at first base. After the first runner gets aboard on a single, Luke Terbeek gets 2 groundouts and a strikeout. It sends us to the bottom half of the fourth. Hayes down 3-2. Bottom of the fourth we go here from Larks Park. Leading off for Hayes will be Zach Henry, the center fielder from UTA. Henry on the day 0 for 1 with a strikeout. He grounds his second pitch over to the first base side, and Ellison and Messino both have trouble with it. It's a runner on board with nobody out here. And it's an E3, so not a hit for Henry, but he'll take it and be aboard. So now to Brock Loomis, 0 from the day with a pop-up to Tennell. Loomis celebrating his 20th birthday. His teammate Palmer Hutchison celebrated his 21st on Sunday and picked up a 5-1 victory along with it. Loomis with an open stance. Goes from the right-hander's batter's box. Westbrook still on the mound. This delivery changeup in the zone, 0-1. Brock spent this past spring redshirting for the Butler County Grizzlies and didn't have a 2020 senior season, so this will be his first full season of play since summer of 2019 when he played for the Hayes. The Legion did have a team in 2020. So he did play for the Legion, the Hayes Eagles in 2020, but didn't have a high school season in 2020. But in 2019 in high school, batted .333 with 11 extra base hits. Since his 0-1 delivery back, 0-2. Driving on deck with Lung in the hole for Hayes. Henry has a lot of speed and is an aggressive runner at first base. We'll see if Frank Leo wants to send him on one of these pitches. Westbrooks, after allowing a run in the first, got the Larks quiet in the second. Henry does take off, and the throw is a good one, and it's going to get Henry out by a few feet. Almost dodged the tag, but umpire rules him out. One away here with the bases empty. Henry has been caught stealing for the second time this season. Has 5 total bases. That's tied for the team lead with Tyler Palmer. One ball and 2 strikes on Loomis. Base is empty. 2-2 on the catcher originally from Hays, Kansas. Brock played in 3 games last year for the Larks, had 3 at-bats, and had 1 walk. Pops this one up into shallow center field, and Messino gets called off by Beal, who runs across second base and records the second out. So now to Dylan Dreiling, who singled with 2 outs in the second inning, looking to do the same here in the fourth.
The right fielder, number 33, Dylan Dreiling.
Dylan pitched for the Larks last Sunday. Not this last Sunday, but the Sunday before on Game 3 of the season. Pitched for Hays High in the first round of the state tournament. Was the ace all year for the Hays High Indians, and they went to him a lot. 1-1 on Dreiling, the right fielder. Two and 1. Larks fans, make sure you follow the Larks on Twitter at HaysLarksBB. You'll get updates for games, scoring, all sorts of stuff on there. And then follow the Larks on Facebook for a lot of other information, such as this day in Larks history. And while you're at it, subscribe to the Larks on YouTube, and you'll be sure to stay up to date with all things Larks baseball and all the players all summer long. 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs on Dylan Dreiling. Dylan batting 9th in this game. The 2's delivery swung on and hit to left center field. Shively and Schoenfield move towards it, and Shively will make the catch, tripping onto the warning track for out number 3. A well-hit ball right at the 349 sign in left center, but it will end the 4th. Larks get a leadoff runner who's thrown out trying to steal second, and we move to the 5th. Hays still down by 1. Back to the mound for inning number 5 is Luke Terbeek, and it's a day for Grant Lung at second base. Cam Pearson moves from third base to second base, and Palmer Hutchison will take over the third base duties from him. 1-0 becomes 2-0 to the leadoff hitter, Miles Beal, and both the Larks and the Cannons will start at the top of the order. This one is grounded at the diving Kavanaugh and into left field. A base hit for Beal after grounding out to Kavanaugh in the second. Gets one past him here. Leadoff single, runner aboard with nobody out in the top of the 5th. That brings up the 2-hole Cole Blousy, 1 for 2 in the day with a strikeout and a single. The right fielder getting his first look at Luke Terbeek. Since his first delivery down the left field line is going to drop, Schmidt hustles all the way to the corner, and going from first to third is Beal, and it's a double for Blasi. Munch warming up for Hayes in the pen. So we have 7 pitchers expected to make an appearance for Hayes today. Luke Terbeek is number 3. Trey Riggs came in the first and had 3 earned runs, and then Jake Fitzgibbons came in for the second and the third, retired all 6 batters, and Luke Terbeek came in the fourth, allowed 1 hit, got a strikeout, and has allowed back-to-back hits in the top of the 5th, and Keith Harper wants to have a visit with them. We'll take a quick pause while the mound visit happens. Two in scoring position for Jordan Ellison, who's 1 for 2 in the day with a single, a run scored, and a strikeout. Off speed from Terbeek, swing and a miss as it runs outside, and Ellison follows it, can't make contact. Ellison, the first baseman from Bel Air, Kansas, outside of Wichita. The 0-1 chopped over the left side, and it will bounce in foul territory. Well read from Hutchison to let it bounce. No balls and 2 strikes to Ellison. So it'll take some time here. Still Trevor Munch, the southpaw, warming up in the pen, should the Larks want to go to him here in the 5th. No balls and 2 strikes. Inning started with a single from Beal and a double from Blasi. Then we got a mound visit from Harper, and Luke Terbeek looks changed here and strikes out Ellison on a knuckleball. Second time Ellison's gone down on strikes. And for Terbeek, that is strikeout number 2 on the day, and on the season, number 9. Terbeek just 1 strikeout behind Wyatt Divis for the team lead. Divis has thrown 10 innings. Terbeek has thrown 10 as well, including today's action. 2 in scoring position, 1 out in the top of the 5th. This pitch starts out way inside and moves over the plate. It's pumped to the right side. Cade Brown chases it all the way to the wall, and it will drop in foul territory out of play. No balls and 2 strikes on the catcher from Angelo State. Trip Clark on the day, 1 for 2 with a single. In the first, he came around to score off the bat of Carson Shively, and then in the 3rd inning, Clark flew out to Grant Schmidt for the second out. The 0-2 misses 1-2. Terbeek looks in. Loomis lays a sign down for him. He nods at the first one. A knuckleball with some funky movement misses outside. And they will rule a bonk on Terbeek, and a run will score from third. That is Bale scoring his first run of the day, and Blasi moves to third base. Nice pitch, but umpire catches Terbeek for a balk. Not something you see a whole lot often, and it's always something that's going to be contested. And Frank Leo, not sure if he's coming to the dugout to talk to the umpire or to pull Terbeek. And Frank Leo is going to want to talk with the umpires. I didn't catch what Terbeek did for the balk. Everything from up here looked normal, but also I was not on the field looking for a balk. So Lee was going to chat with the umpires, and Terbeek's going to toss the ball around the infield trying to stay warm. It'll still be a 1-2 count to Trip Clark. Munch continue to get warm in the bullpen. Do it for the Larks in the bottom of the fifth after these next 2 outs. Will be the top of the order, Lung, Kavanaugh, and Divis. Excuse me, it won't be Grant Lung as it's a day for him. It'll be Palmer Hutchison. And a long visit. The umpires are now discussing it with themselves. We'll see what they roll here. Terbeek now comes off the mound and is going to talk to his head coach, Frank Leo. And he gives his explanation to his coach. Shows the movement he made with his feet on the mound. And it's a long discussion between the 2 umpires. And they are going to call off the balk. And obviously that's going to get Dusty Gray, the third base coach, upset. I believe they called off the balk. They sent a motioned Plazzi back to second base. And now the umpire giving his explanation to the umpire. Terbeek staying warm here, and the base pass umpire will give his explanation to Gray. Not often when you come into the dugout to argue a call does it work for you, but it does for Frank Leo here. And going back to third base will be Blasi, and Blasi goes back to second, Beal goes back to third. And it's now a 3-2 ball game. 1 away, 2 in scoring position. 1-2 count to Trip Clark. Umpire flashes up to the box, 2-2, as that one was officially ruled a pitch. Clark gets some warm-up swings under him and takes the 2-2 from Terbeek, gives it a swing, and will foul it off the plate. We'll stay at 2-2. Schoenfeld on deck with Tennell in the hole for the Cannons. And we'll get time called. Just 2 of the Larks on the roster played against the Cannons back in 2019. It was Matt Kavanaugh and Wyatt Divis, and this one's going to be either a pass ball or a wild pitch. Either way, a run scores from third, and the balk is pretty much canceled out. And it's a 4-2 ball game. And we'll get a payoff pitch, 3-2. Scoring is Beal for technically the second time this inning, but it'll only count as the first one. For Beal, that is run scored number 4. And now the 1 through 4 hitters for the Cannons have all scored in this ball game. We'll get a payoff pitch from Terbeek. And it's grounded over the right side. 1-1 is going to score. Pearson snow cones it and throws to Brown for the second out of the 5th. And it's now a 5-2 ball game. So that's an RBI for Trip Clark. Now has a run scored and a run driven in for Caleb Blasi. That's his second run scored, and on the season, number 7. Just 1 behind Trip Clark for the team lead. 2 outs, base is empty here in the top of the 5th. 1-0 counts on the center fielder from Bishop Carroll. 2-0. Terbeek will step off the rubber here. Terbeek is 6'1" righty. Made 9 appearances for the Matadors at Arizona Western this year. Went 5-0, striking out 27. In a shortened 2020 freshman season, made 1 appearance, gave up 2 earned runs in 1 2/3. has a 2-1 count here against Paul Schoenfeld, the center fielder. Tindall on deck and Shively in the hole if necessary. This one's going to be fly to left field and foul. 2-2. Terabithia 1 strike away from ending this top of the 5th. Terabithia came in relief on Friday, June 4th, the opening day for the Larks' 75th season. Came in through 3 innings, was part of that no-hitter that went into the 9th inning. He had 1 out in the 9th and allowed back-to-back hits. Ended up striking out 4 guys, and the Larks picked up victory number 1. And after Terabithia starts to come off the mound thinking he had a strikeout, umpire at home will check down to first, and Schoenfeld did not go around. Terabith's second appearance was against the Sox, where he went 5 2/3 innings, picked up the starts, allowed 2 earned runs, did not pick up a decision, as Castellucci and Reese came up in relief, and the Larks ended up losing the game. This one fouled off. We'll stay at 3-2. 2 outs, full count, bases empty. Terabithia will throw his third payoff pitch of the inning, the second one here to Schoenfeld, and it's grounded up the middle. Pearson makes a nice slide, but ultimately it's too late as it was a slow dribbler up the middle, and it's a base hit. Schoenfeld aboard for the first time today. Runner on first here with 2 outs. Parker Tillman to the dish now, struck out in his first AB. That was against Trey Riggs, and then reached on a drop third strike to load the bases, and then singled off of Terabithia in the top of the 4th. Check over on him, not in time. Slider from Terabithia outside, and Loomis has to slide for it. One 1-0 with 2 away. Schoenfeld gets a small lead at first. Cade Brown at first will hold him, and he takes off the throw from Loomis to Pearson in time, and they will rule him safe. Pearson, Loomis, and the whole Larks roster thought he was out. Henry was almost to the infield, running in from center. A great throw from Loomis, the best on the day, to second on an attempted steal. But ultimately, the fielding umpire rules Schoenfeld safe. Swing and a miss on this one. Tindall swings above a knuckleball, 1-2. Terabithia looks in, gets the signs from Loomis, nods at the first one he sees, the 1-2 home, off speed, and Terabithia gets the off speed, working with his knuckleballs and changeup here in the 5th inning. The Cannons score 2, and Terabithia strikes out 2. It sends us to the bottom of the 5th. Hayes down 5-2. of the fifth we go. Michael Sears will replace Clay Westbrooks after 4 innings from Westbrooks, allowing 2 runs. Palmer Hutchison will lead it off for Hayes, his first AB after replacing Grant Lung in the top of this inning. Hutchison's first delivery from Sears way outside on a slow off-speed. Sears out of South Mountain Community College, from the same hometown as Larks pitcher Jose Velasquez, Phoenix, Arizona. Hutchison hit this one well. Would have been a home run had he waited on it just a little bit longer. Sends it out of play over to the left side, 1-1. Hutchison on Monday's game, his last game played, 3 for 7 with 2 RBIs and 2 runs scored. Outside, 2-1. Hutch on the year, batting .304 with a .448 OBP. 7 hits, 4 of those doubles. Works himself a hitter's count here against Sears. Breaking ball does catch the zone, full counts. The payoff pitch to Hutchison hangs above the letters on a changeup, and he's aboard for the first time in his first AB. Third straight inning, the Larks have a leadoff runner on, one off of a single, one off of an error, and this one on a walk. For Palmer Hutchison, that is his 6th walk of the season. He's now tied for the team lead with Grant Lung, who he replaced in this game. That'll bring Matt Cavanaugh to the dish. Gav 2 for 2 in his first game with the Larks. Singled in the third and first and scored both times. Sears, a southpaw, gets a straight look at Hutchison and throws this one at the knees of Cavanaugh, and Cavanaugh dodges it 1-0. Runner on first with nobody out. Sears has made now 3 appearances for the Cannons. In the first 2, went 4 innings combined, 7 earned runs, 3 hits, has an ERA of 15.75, has walked 6 guys and struck out just 4. But does have an opponent batting average of 120 with a whip of 2.25. 2-0 on Cav. Again, pitching him inside, 3-0. Matt Cavanaugh in the KCLB in 2019 with the Larks, the league that the Larks were in for that 1 year, and the league that the Cannons are in right now. Cavanaugh was the Defensive Player of the Year for the league and was a first-team All-League selection at the shortstop spot. Larks brought a lot of selections in the KCLB to the table. 5 KCLB first members, 1 second-team member, and they had the co-offensive player of the year with Justin Lee, co-pitcher of the year with Wyatt Davis, and then obviously Matt Cavanaugh was the defensive player of the year. 3-2 count, and the home plate umpire, Hunter Fitzpatrick, getting a earful from the Hayes faithful. The payoff pitch to Cavanaugh inside, back-to-back walks, and that was a tough one to take for Cavanaugh, but he's aboard for the 3rd time. And we're going to get a mound visit from Jake Gould. It'll be Wyatt Davis coming to the dish with 2 on, and number 14, James Armstrong from Northern Oklahoma, jogs his way to the bullpen, but goes to the door and comes back. I think you're just going there to tell the current pitcher that's out there to get ready. Larks in that 2019 year in the KCLB, they were in the Jayhawk League for many, many years, and then the league broke up, went to the KCLB for 1 year, and then joined the Rocky Mountain Baseball League here for the past 2 years in 2020 and 21, and Cord Jackson is going to pinch run for Matt Cavanaugh, and that's a day for the Cowboy. Larks in that 2019 season, the KCLB, 34-12. They won the KCLB tournament. First and only year in the league. They had the best overall record in the league. In our division that the Larks were in, we tied with the Liberal BJs, but the BJs won the tiebreaker And in the postseason, the Larks, like I said, won the tournament for the league, and then we're just one win away from the NBC Championship week, losing to Derby 9-7. Sears still on the mound. His first delivery to Wyatt Davis, a called strike on a fastball. Davis on the day, 2 for 2 with a double and a single, has gone to third base 2 times, but the Larks haven't been able to bring him home. Davis, a great hitter, great pitcher too. Picked up the win on Monday in the Larks' last game. Came in relief of Corey Bright, and he takes strike 2 looking. It's a great game on Monday. Davis went 1 for 7, but got aboard 2 more times and scored 3 times total. This delivery into the the right-hander's batter's box and blocked by Clark. 1 ball and 2 strikes. On Monday, Larks were down big heading into the 4th inning, down 11-1. They scored 1 in the 4th and 3 in the 5th. Got 5 in the 7th, 3 in the 8th, and then 2 in the 9th to tie it up. Davis was the tying run, and then he scored 1 in the 11th, ended up being the go-ahead run, and lines one into center field. Cord Jackson is going to go to second, and Palmer Hutchison is head at third, and the Larks have 3 straight base runners, back-to-back walks, and now a single from Davis. Davis now 3 for 3 on the day. So base is loaded, still nobody out. Larks down by 3. That'll bring Grant Schmidt, a very dangerous hitter, to the plate. Grant Schmidt on the season has 9 RBIs, has the team lead tied with Pearson and Jeminian, and he has 2 in scoring position with another one at first. Has 4 extra base hits, 3 of those home runs, and has 1 double, and looking to get Sears a couple more earned runs on his season. Larks down by 3 here in the bottom of the 5th. First delivered to Schmidt, a slow changeup, hangs in the air and then drops to his knees. 0-1. But that Larks game, and they scored that 1 in the 11th and 2 in the 12th, it just shows what happens when you can score every inning and just keep the line moving. After being down 10 and winning by 2, that's what happens. They just never had a huge inning. They did have 1 inning where they scored 5, but just every other inning, picking up a couple, picking up 3, picking up 1. And it showed. Larks ended up with 19 hits and a W from the Saints. They went 2-0 against the Saints and 1-1 against the Sox on their 4-game road trip to Denver. The 1-1 to Schmidt misses inside 2-1. This is Schmidt's first year with the Larks. Has spent the past 2 years playing at Larks Park, though, playing for the Fort Hays State University Tigers with Larks teammate Hunter Parker. 2-1 on Schmidt. Hutchison at third, Jackson at second. Davis at first. Curveball catches the outside part of the plate. 2-2. A tough take. And Schmidt, with now a better understanding of the strike zone, steps back into the box. 2-2. Sears nods at Clark. Righty in the pin for the Cannons. Lefty in the pin for Hayes. The 2-2 home. Schmidt starts to swing real early, slows it down and almost stops it, and then follows through and lines it right at the Larks dugouts. So it's a day for Matt Cavanaugh as Cord Jackson pinch ran for him. Just so the 1 and 2 in the Hayes order now replaced by Palmer Hutchison and Cord Jackson. Schmidt stays alive and swings and misses at a curveball and is down on strikes for the second time today. Sears picks up his first strikeout of the day and number 5 on the season. That'll bring Cam Pearson to the dish. 1 for 1 on the day with a single and a sacrifice fly. Larks looking to at least get something after having the bases loaded with nobody out. There's 1 away. Down by 3, this could end up being a big at-bat in the long term. First delivery to Cam inside 1-0. For Pearson, in the first inning, that was his 12th single of the year. He leads the Larks in hits, has 14. Grant Schmidt is in second place with 12. 2-0. Cade Brown on deck with Zach Henry in the hole for the Larks. Outfield in the corners playing deep. Infield creeps in, trying to get a double play. Curveball off speed. Outside. Sears, his curveball and changeup really don't have a ton of velocity. And Cam Pearson will go down the third base line to talk with Frank Leo. We'll see if he's taking here. Pearson can do a lot with a good pitch to hit, and that's what he's going to see on a 3-0. It's just a matter of, do you want to take the risk of swinging on a 3-0 with the bases loaded? We'll see what he does. The throw home inside, and he throws his bat to the dugout and takes a walk and picks up RBI number 3. Scoring is Cord Jackson for the first time today. The second spot in the order has scored all the runs for the Larks. That's the third walk of the day for Michael Sears, and that continues to be a problem for him. Excuse me, that was Palmer Hutchison scoring, not Cord Jackson. Hutchison has scored 1 now, and Kavanaugh has scored the other 2 for A's, but Pearson has driven home all 3 off of a single sacrifice fly and now a walk. It's Jackson at third, Davis at second, Pearson at first, Horse trailing 5-3. Brown on the day looking for his first hit, struck out on the first, and then popped up to Ellison in the third inning. For Pearson, that is RBI number 11. He adds the team lead. This one, a check swing. The ball bounces low off the turf, and Jackson will be held at third, 1-1 on Brown. Hutchison just scored his 7th run of the season. There's only 5 Larks ahead of him with more runs. 1-1, 1 away, bases loaded in the bottom of the 5th. Hayes down by 2. Good opportunity early on Brown's season right here. Looking for his first RBI, reaches for this one and waits on it and sends it down the left field line. It'll be a foot foul. Could have scored 3 easily with Pearson running from first. Well hit ball after Brown adjusts his swing and roped it down the left field line, but it's just out of play. So a tough one right there, and he'll go back to the box, down the count 1-2. Brown 2 singles on the year and has 1 walk, has scored 3 times and reached on an error 1 time. Just a millisecond later, and that would have been 3 RBIs for Brown. This one almost catches his jersey as it misses inside on a changeup, 2-2. Brown down to Cardiff, California, spent 1 year at San Diego before transferring to the Oklahoma Sooners in the Big 12. Was a 2017 Perfect Game National Showcase selectee and skies this one hard down the left field line. It has the distance. Everybody holds their breath and looks up, and it goes foul. That's 2 that Brown sends just foul. That would have been a grand slam had it been fair. That's 2 just well-struck balls. He read that one all the way to his bat and sent it off the barrel, pulling it just foul. So we'll stay alive 2-2 with 1 away. Righty versus lefty. Sears is southpaw, trying to get out of this inning. The 2-2 to Brown. Inside, and regardless of Brown missing a grand slam, has still worked a great at-bat here, was down the count, and now works a full count. We'll get a payoff pitch. Bases loaded. Hutchison at third, Davis at second, Pearson at first. Big pitch from Sears coming up. And the throw to Brown. Curveball misses outside. He reads it all the way. And that's the easiest call the umpires made tonight. And Sears walks his 4th batter of the inning and brings home his 2nd run on a walk. That brings home Cord Jackson. Cord has now scored 9 times this year. That is tied for the team lead with Cam Pearson and Grant Lung. So bases are still loaded. Larks down by just 1, and that's going to be a day for Michael Sears as Jeminian will pinch hit for Zach Henry here in the 5th. And that's a day for, like I said, Michael Sears. Still, the base is loaded with only 1 out, and we'll take a quick pause as we wait on the new pitcher. The rough season for Michael Sears continues. He came into this game walking 6 batters and has walked 4 here, and he leaves the bases loaded for Cole Gordon. Leo Jiminian replacing Zach Henry pops this one to right field, and a diving effort from Blousy won't be a time. It's a single, or excuse me, the effort won't be rewarded with an out, and Jiminian singles home a run, and the bases stay loaded, and the game is tied 5-5 here in the bottom of the 5th. So that's the third replacement the Larks have made today, and scoring from third is Divis. It puts Pearson at Pearson at third and Brown at second. For Leo Jiminian, that is RBI number 10, and he now trails just Cam Pearson for the team lead. Replacing Michael Sears is Cole Gordon, a freshman from Newman University, originally from Goddard, Kansas, outside of Wichita. Didn't have to travel very far, as Newman is also in that area. 1-0 on Loomis, who's 0 for 2 today with 2 pop-ups. 5-5 ball game. Jiminian at first, Brown at second, Cam Pearson at third. And Gordon throws a slow delivery. Looks like he holds up his delivery and gets a swing and a miss out of Loomis. Gordon, no stats recorded at Newman. Gordon on the year for the Kansas Cannons made 2 appearances. The Cannons lost both games, but he didn't pick up the loss. Throws a slider outside, 2-1. Both of his appearances were in relief coming in this one. Has thrown 3 innings, 5 earned runs. Makes for an ERA of 15. The bullpen for the Cannons just has very high ERAs. And he misses at the head of Loomis, 3-1. Cannons 3-2. 2-1 in division play in the KCLB. This a non-conference play, as the Larks left the KCLB 2 years ago. And the 3-1 hitter's count delivery just catches the outside bottom corner. Full counts. This is the Larks' second year in the Rocky Mountain Baseball League. They have a 3-1 record in the Rocky Mountain Baseball League on a 2-game win streak. Conference play for them opened up on Friday after 3 non-con games against the Roughnecks. Loomis does a nice job of fouling off the payoff pitch to stay alive. It's the 8th hitter the Larks have brought to the box this inning. They've gotten 4 walks and 2 singles and have scored 3 runs. Have scored in every other inning so far today. Scored 1 in the first, 1 in the third, and then 3 in the 5th. Gordon goes home, delivers downward, and Loomis skies this one to right field. Blausy's at the warning track. Pearson tags up from third base, and the throw is going to go to third base. Pearson scores, and Brown is safe at third. So on his birthday, Brock Loomis picks up an RBI on a sacrifice fly. That is RBI number 4 on the season for the catcher from Bucco. 2-away runners on first and third. Larks now lead. A 6-5 game now. 2-away runners on the corners. Scoring for the first time today was Cam Pearson. He now has 3 RBIs and a run scored. Jiminian will steal second base. No throw from Clark. Now 2 in scoring position. For Cam Pearson, that is run scored number 10 this season. He now leads the team. Leads the team in both RBIs and runs scored. For Leo Jiminian, that is stolen base number 4 this year, still yet to be thrown out. 2-0 on Dreiling. Dreiling on the day, 1 for 2 with a single and a flyout. Brown at third, Jiminian at second. Jiminian with a big lead. The 2-0 to Dreiling, lined right back. Just under 2 hours into this ball game, 2 away in the bottom of the 5th. Cannon's got 3 in the first and then 2 in the top of the 5th. And then the Larks rally here in the bottom half of the inning, scoring 4. Each team has 8 hits and an error. The walks have been the story here in the 5th for the Cannons. The 2-1 to Dreiling. Outside and low, 3-1. On deck is Palmer Hutchison, who led off the inning. Due up for the Cannons in the 6th will be Shively, Payne, and Messino, the bottom 3 in the order. The 3-1 to Dreiling reads it and sends it up the top of his bat now to play back. We'll have a full count. Gordon on the mound this year has walked 6 batters, struck out 2, and has a whip of 2.67. Has only allowed 2 hits. The payoff pitch is high, and Dreiling's aboard on the walk. 5th walk of the inning for Hayes. Base is loaded again with 2 outs. Celebrating Palmer Hutchison to the dish. He walked to start this inning. Grant Long started the game at second base, and then Palmer Hutchison replaced him in the top of this inning, went over to third, and Pearson took over the duties at second. Cord Jackson on deck for the Larks. He pinch ran for Kavanaugh earlier in this inning. 0-1 on the third baseman from Kansas City, Kansas Community College, and we're going to get a wild pitch, and Brown will score easily. It's a 7-5 ball game. Jiminian moves to third, and the Larks still have 2 in scoring position in a 1-1 count. Scoring is Cade Brown for the first time today. For Cade, that is run scored number 4. Trailing at second, Jiminian at third. The 1-1 to Hutchison outside, and the Cannons are struggling with their delivery. Fastball seems to hit the zone, but it's their off speed that seems to be missing. Need to work on the control of their secondary pitches. The 2-1 changeup, and Gordon really finishes low on this one. Rough delivery, misses high, 3-1. Hutchison last year with Hayes batted .213 with an OBP of .358. Has improved both of those this year, batting .304 with an OBP above .450. Gordon finishes low again and walks the bases loaded. Walk number 2 of the inning for Palmer Hutchison, and that is the 6th walk of the inning for the Cannons. So now that'll bring up Cord Jackson. Jackson making his first plate appearance of the day. Jackson comes in this game batting .280 with a on-base percentage of .333, hit 2 home runs on the road trip, and in his last game with Hayes, went 3 for 6 with 2 runs scored and 3 runs driven in. 1-0 on the Canadian shortstop. The 11th hitter the Larks have brought to the plate this inning. They've batted around and scored 5. Fifth inning been a hot spot for the Larks. They allowed 2 runs into this 5th inning, just like they did on Monday. They scored 3 in the 5th inning on Monday, and today have scored 5. And they've taken the lead. Ooh, this one just catches the inside corner on Cord Jackson. Hutchison at first, Dreiling at second, Jiminian on third. This one he waits on a changeup and grounds it hard to Messino, who will throw to Ellison, who taps the first base bag for out number 3. Larks leave the bases loaded, but score 5 here in the 5th. We move to the 6th. Hayes up by 2. Top of the 6th from Hayes, Kansas. New pitcher into the game for the Larks is Trevor Munch. In the first pitch, he throws to Carson Shively in the zone for a called strike. He'll have to go through the bottom of the order, the 7, 8, and 9 hitters for the Cannons. This is pitcher number... Before I get to that, there's a ground ball to Palmer Hutchison in the hot corner, and Shively grounds out on 2 pitches. Well played by Hutchison in his 2nd inning at third base. Shively now to the dugouts, 1 for 3, and there's 1 away with the bases empty. fourth pitcher into the game for the Larks. We started out with Trey Riggs, who went 1 inning, and then Jake Fitzgibbons went 2, then Luke Terbeek went 2, and now we're to Munch. Munch making his second appearance of the season, went 3 innings in his first appearance. It was a start on Sunday. He gets a nice pitch in full is paying here, the DH. Went 3 innings against the Sox in that 5-1 victory. Didn't pick up the decision since he only went 3 innings, and this one's hit hard to left field, and it's going to be the second home run Trevor Munch has allowed this year. Well hit by Payne. Gavin Payne, the catcher out of NAIA Tabor College. And it's now a 6-7 ball game. Munch only allowed 1 earned run. That was the home run against the Sox. Only allowed 2 other hits. Struck out 4 batters and only walked 2. Was a good outing after that home run. It was the first batter he faced competitively in 2021. And after that, he settled in and looked nice. First delivery here to the bottom of the order. Charles Messino outside on a fastball, 1-0. Munch goes from the windup. This one's grounded to the Larks dugouts. Messino from Thousand Oaks, California, plays at Pepperdine University. 1-1. Munch, a 6'4" junior, still has 1 year of eligibility left. The southpaw goes home, and the slider misses inside, 2-1. Munch out of Lawrence, Kansas, committed to Oklahoma, spent 2 years with the Sooners, redshirting in 2017, and in 2018 made 2 appearances, 2 earned runs, and allows a 2-1 hit here into center field. Just the 5th hit Munch has allowed this year. Munch was not with the team for the first series and then made the trip to Colorado after getting here earlier last week, about a week ago from yesterday. It's Miles Beal, top of the order, to the box now. Check over at first base. Brown loses it for a second, but the runner stays. So after playing at Oklahoma, Munch goes to McLennan Junior College, who just won a national championship. And it looks like Jose Velasquez is going to get warm in the pen in left field for Hayes. But at McLennan, made 15 appearances, went 4-1 with a save. Struck out 31 and walked just 14, and has an 0-1 count here against Beal. After that sophomore year, McLennan came to Hayes and pitched for the Larks in the summer. Came in about halfway through the season, and the ball is going to get away from Loomis, and Beal goes from first to third. Just a tough play right there. Loomis didn't get there in time. Runner 90 feet from tying it up with 1 away. Two and one. And then Munch went to Wichita State for his junior year in 2020. Made 1 appearance in the shortened season. And came to the Larks in that summer, made 10 appearances. Went 2-2 and gets a ground ball up the middle. Cam Pearson waits on it at second base, throws hard to first, and gets the second out, but scoring is Messino. That was Beal who just grounded out. For Messino, that is run scored number 4 for his season. Earlier in this inning, Payne hit a home run. That was his first of the year and picked up his 3rd RBI and first run scored. That was his first RBI and his first run scored. 1-0 now to Cole Blasi, the right fielder. Bases empty, 2 away. 1-1 counts. And for Miles Beal, who just grounded out, drove in a run after scoring a run back in the 5th inning, and that is RBI number 7. That is 3rd on the team. 6'4" southpaw from Lawrence, Kansas goes home, misses outside 2-1. Munch still has a year of eligibility left and a school of his choosing. The 2-1 grounded over the right side. When he pitched on Sunday, I was talking to one of the scouts that came to watch him, or the scout that came to watch him. It's a scout from Southern California. 2-1 is the count. Two balls and 2 strikes, 2 away here in the top of the 6th. This delivery grounded over the left side. Will stay alive. On deck is Jordan Ellison. Do it for the Larks to try and get the lead back will be the 3, 4, and 5, the heart of the order, Divis, Schmidt, and Pearson. And Munch will get a strike looking off of Biazzi's. Now struck out 2 times today, and that sends us to the bottom of the 6th. Hayes and the Kansas Cannons tied at 7. Leading off the bottom of the 6th inning will be Wyatt Divis, since his first pitch hard at Messina, who deals it off a bounce, drops it, picks it back up again, and throws to Ellison to get Divis out. Divis now 3 for 4 in the day with a double and 2 singles along with a run scored. Another being Grant Schmidt to the box. Schmidt on the day 0 for 3, has a good hitting streak coming to this one, looking to keep it alive here. Cans have scored 2 in back-to-back innings after the Larks picked up 5 in the last one, and the game is tied. Gordon really finishes low with his delivery. Hand almost touches his toes, and he delivers a ball to Schmidt on a changeup. 1-0 with 1 away. Base is empty in the the bottom of the 6th. Swing and a miss, a hard swing from Schmidt. 1-1. Grant's on the year. Having a great season. Has 12 hits. That is 2nd on the team. Has scored 8 times and driven in 9. leads the team in home runs with 3 and has a 2-1 count here against Gordon. Changeup will get Schmidt in front of it on another tough swing. Hard swing, 2-2. An MIAA matchup here between a pitcher from Newman and the hitter from Fort Hays State. 2's delivery, and Schmidt finally gets the one he wants to hit. I mean, he wanted all of them. That one he makes contact with. Another hard swing. Had the distance to the 322 corner, but about 50 feet to the left of it. Cole Gordon on the mound gets a swing and a miss out of Schmidt, and Schmidt now has the hat trick, 0 for 4. To the box now, Cam Pearson on the day, 1 for 1 with a sacrifice fly, a walk, and a single has driven in an RBI in every plate appearance. 1-0 on the now second baseman. Last year played about everywhere in the field, infield, outfield, even caught for a little bit. This year has played at first base, third base, and now second base. Swings under a off-speed high, 1-1. Larks fans, make sure to subscribe on YouTube. Again, it's free if you're signed in on your YouTube account, or if you have a Google account, just hit the subscribe button. It's free. You won't get any emails from us, and it helps us out so much. 2-1. Harrison, a 6'2" utility player, still has 3 years of college eligibility left. Good to go to Cochise if he wants to again for the fall and spring semester, but it has a 2-2 count here in Hays, Kansas. Brown on deck with Jeminian in the hole. After bringing 11 hitters to the plate in the 5th, Larks had back-to-back outs to get the 6th going. And Gordon's throwing slow, but it's worked so far as the changeup is fouled off by Pearson. Looks similar to Schmidt's swing after Schmidt swung just like that and had his hit go foul. Wind slowing down here, still a slight breeze moving in from left center. This one misses low, and Pearson has a full count. Gordon gets set and will go from the stretch to Pearson. The delivery is going to be lined into left center. It's going to be a tough play, but making the play is Schoenfeld, and gets some cheers from his family that made the trip to Hays from Wichita. And that'll end the 7th inning. Larks go 1-2-3 after bringing up 11 in the 5th and scoring 5 runs. We go to the 7th, tied up at 7. the 7th, we go here from Hays, Kansas. It's the Phoenix, Arizona native, Jose Velasquez to the mound. 0-1 delivery to the leadoff hitter, Jordan Ellison, who's 1 for 3 on the day. Velasquez has a quick 0-2 count. This is Jose's 3rd appearance on the season, has thrown 9 total innings. Started the game against the Roughnecks on the 2nd game of the season. That was Saturday, June 5th. Went 3 innings, picked up victory number 1, striking out 2, allowing 1 walk, no hits. And then this last Sunday, after the Larks dropped the game on Saturday, he came in relief of Trevor Munch. Munch went 3 innings, and then Jose Velasquez came in and threw the rest of the game, 6 innings strong, picked up victory number 2, walking 1, striking out 6. Still no hits allowed as the only runner reached on an error. And he gets a first batter face ground ball to Hutchison, who fields it in the hot corner and throws across the diamond to Cade Brown for the first out of the 7th. So they'll bring up Trip Clark, the catcher, to the box now. Trip Clark on the day, 1 for 3 with a single and a fly out and a ground out. Want to know this one to chop to Court Jackson, waits on it, takes a step back, throws to Cade Brown, who digs it for out number 2. A great 7th inning so far for Jose Velasquez. Velasquez, a 6'3 freshman for the Cochise College Apaches, where his second baseman, Cam Pearson, also plays. Velasquez at Cochise led the team in appearances with 26. All in relief, 7-3 record with a 3.38 ERA. Just a great season for the righty. 3 saves, 57 strikeouts, and had a strikeout per 9 inning rate of 8.74. 1-0 is the count on Paul Schoenfeld, the center fielder. 1 for 2 on the day with a single, a ground out, and a sacrifice fly with run driven in. 1-1, 2-way bases empty in the top of the 7th. It's a 7-7 ball game here from Hays, Kansas. Velasquez for Cochise had the least earned runs on the team among pitchers with an average of 1 inning pitched per game. That was 22 earned runs. The 1-1 swung on and missed, 1-2. Velasquez has now faced 32 batters this year and gotten 29 outs off of those. Just a great year. Still hasn't allowed a hit. Gets a ground ball to Cam Harrison. Tosses underhand to Cade Brown. 3 ground outs. 1 to Hutchison, 1 to Jackson, and 1 to Pearson. Jose Velasquez works the top of the 7th and sends us to the 7th inning stretch here at Larks Park. Seventh inning has been stretched here from Larks Park. And leading off the latter half of the seventh will be Cade Brown, the first baseman out of OU, after a 1-2-3 seventh from Jose Velasquez. Brown on the day 0 for 2 in his first 2 plate appearances, and then walked in the 5th and came around to score his 4th run of the season. One ball and one strike. It's still Cole Gordon on the mound for the Cannons. Throws low. It's fouled and skied over out of play. Due up for Hayes will be Leo Geminian and Brock Loomis. Larks at the dish in the 6th went 1-2-3. Brown listed as a pitcher on San Diego's and OU's roster, sends a fly ball deep to right field, and the crowd gets excited, but Schoenfeld will make the catch in front of the NCAA sign and straight center field. One away. Back-to-back flyouts to the center fielder Schoenfeld for Cole Gordon going back to the last inning. Now to the box, Leo Geminian has been aboard once. That was in the 5th inning. He singled. That was actually his first plate appearance, replacing Zach Henry as a pinch hitter. His first delivery, a fastball, bounces in front of the plate, 1-0. Loomis on deck with Dreiling in the hole. Under the lights here from Hays, Kansas, 9:30 p.m. here as the Larks look to get their 7th victory of the season. The 1-0, Geminian waits on it and sends it foul, 1-1. That single from Leo was his 7th of the season. He is 3rd on the team and hits behind only Grant Schmidt and Cam Pearson. Curveball hangs way in the air, 2-1. Dangerous to leave a curveball hanging to a guy like Geminian, 2-1. He sends this one to center field, and that could be 3 straight flyouts to center field for Larks, and it is. Schoenfeld gets under it 30 feet in front of the center field wall. Celebrating Brock Loomis, the catcher, celebrating his 20th birthday today, to the dish. Brock in his last AB had a sacrifice fly that brought home Cade Brown. For Brock, that was runs driven in number 4 of his year in just 4 games. First delivery to Loomis outside, 1-0. 6 straight Larks have been retired from Cole Gordon. The 1-0 above the letters on a fastball, 2-0. Each team has 7 runs. The Cannons have 10 hits. Hayes has 8. Each team has 1 error. Movement in the pen for Hayes. It is a right-handed pitcher, and Cade Brown was scheduled to come in after Velasquez. I can't tell from here if that is him, but I would give Velasquez a little bit more time to throw. He's looked good on the mound. And another fly ball to center field. Schoenfeld takes a few steps back and will make the catch. 4 straight flyouts to center field for the Larks. 3 in this inning, 1 in the 6th. We go to the 8th, tied up here from Larks Park. Top of the 8th here from Larks Park. Jose Velasquez back to the mound for his second inning of work. First delivery he throws is to Parker Tennell, the third baseman. It's a called strike. Tennell day 1 for 3 with 2 strikeouts and a single. He did reach on a drop third strike back in the first inning. 1-1. Velasquez goes home, gets a nice swing and a miss on an inside delivery. 1-2. One and two count, nobody out, nobody on. The 6'3" freshman from Arizona goes home. This one's flying to right field. Dreiling and Brown give chase. Dreiling calls off Brown and will make the catch on the foul line. Velasquez is now retired. All 4 batters he's faced, and 6 straight cannons have been retired. Velasquez will go behind the mound, get some chunk on his hands, and get ready to face Carson Shively, the left fielder. Shively on the day, 1 for 3 with a strikeout, a ground out, and then singled against Trey Riggs all the way back in the first inning. This will be the 4th pitcher that he has seen. He saw one off of Riggs, once off of Luke Terbeek, and once off of Munch. The only pitcher he has not seen that has thrown today for the Larks has been Jake Fitzgibbons. So it's a 2-0 count with 1 away. This delivery is swung on and fouled to the backstop. Larks played an extra inning game on Monday and don't want to do the same here today. They got to get at least 1 run and hold them scoreless and hold the Cannons scoreless. If you want a guy on the mound to keep him scoreless, you got to feel confident with Velasquez. Changeup in the zone for a called strike 2. A nice pitch with a lot of movement, especially for a changeup. 2-2 counts. It's Payne on deck with Massino in the hole. Core Jackson shifts to the third base side at shortstop, and Jose Velasquez punches out. Shively, the first strikeout on the day for Jose. And now Jose Velasquez has struck out 9 on the season. Coming into this game, Jose had retired 16 of his 30 batters faced on 3 pitches or less and had a leadoff out in every single inning, and he does that today. 11 innings he's appeared in, and all 11 has a leadoff out. Has 4 1-2-3 innings, now 5 after the 7th, and is looking for number 6 right here. One 1-0 on Gavin Payne. 2-0. Velasquez rarely throws consecutive balls. Usually after throwing 1, gets 1 in the zone. This one's going to be flied into left center field, and Leo Jiminian will run back into his right and record the 3rd out of the 8th inning. 7 straight Cannons have been retired. Jose Velasquez retired. 8 straight Cannons have been retired. 2 of those from Munch, and now 6 straight from Jose Velasquez. It sends us to the bottom of the 8th. Larks looking to score as we're in a tie game. Bottom of the 8th, leading it off is Dylan Dreiling, 1 for 2 on the day with a single, a walk, and a flyout. His first pitch he sees, he grounds it past Messino and is aboard for a leadoff hit. First leadoff base runner that the Larks have had since the 5th inning. And so Dylan Dreiling is aboard for the 3rd time today. 2 singles and a walk. Stands at 2 for 3 on the day and having a great season in non-conference play. Is now 5 for 6 on the year. 5 for 7 on the year with 4 singles and a double. Dylan just finished his junior year of high school, and at the dish is Palmer Hutchison, who just finished his 2nd freshman season of college baseball, and sends this first pitch on the inside of his bat and popped over the right side. Messino gets to it. 1 away in the bottom of the 8th. Go-ahead run, 270 feet from scoring. Cord Jackson to the dish, grounded out in his only at-bat so far. Pinch ran for Matt Cavanaugh in the 5th. It was Cavanaugh's first game back with Hayes playing. 0-1. Again, this is the first matchup between the Cannons since June 10th of 2019. In that game, Matt Cavanaugh, one of only 2 Larks that are still on the team from that game, he went 4 for 10 over the 2-game series against the Cannons, which the Larks swept. He went 4 for 10 with 3 RBIs and had 1 stolen base. Dreiling takes off, and the throw was going to get him. And Frank Leo's going to go across the base paths to argue that one. The throw was high, and applying the tag was Beal. I don't know. Either way, regardless of the argument, there's 2 away. And Dreiling's back to the dugouts. And the go-ahead run was almost in scoring position and now is at the batter's box. One ball and 1 strike. Davis on deck with Schmidt in the hole. This one misses the glove of Clark. 2-1. That hit from Dreiling was the first hit since the 5th inning with 1 out. This one at the brim of Jackson. Hitters counts for the shortstop. Jackson did come around to score running for Cavanaugh. 3 of the Larks' 7 runs have come from the 2 spot. It's going to be a 5-pitch walk for Cord Jackson. Number 3 on the season. Runner on first with 2 outs. Davis on the day, 3 for 4 with 2 singles and a double. Has 1 run scored. That was back in the 5th inning when the Larks put up 5. Scoreless since then. His delivery to Davis at the letters, 0-1. Still Gordon on the mound, allowed his first hit. And this one's going to be hit hard to left field. Shively will make the catch 5 feet in front of the warning track. Well hit. Taking an opposite field was Davis, and the Larks put 2 on, but don't score in the 8th. We go to the 9th. Hayes and the Kansas Cannons tied at 7. Top of the ninth, we go here from Larks Park. To the mound for inning number 9, replacing Jose Velasquez, is Cade Brown out of Oklahoma. Was the previous first baseman, and now Wyatt Divis is taking over the first base duties. And now catching, replacing Brock Loomis on his birthday, is Brady Evans out of Murray State. The first pitch from Brown to the leadoff hitter, bottom of the order, Charles Messino, is a single into left field. Runner on first here with nobody out in the top of the ninth, and a tie game. Hutchison creeps down the third base line expecting a bunt. That's what we get. It's popped up, but it'll be out of play. And falling over is Miles Beal at the dish. 1 for 4 on the day with a single and 3 groundouts. 2 to the second baseman. One was Grant Lung at second base. The other one was Cam Pearson at second base. And 1 ground out to Matt Cavanaugh. Divis at first base, meant to bring this up when he was hitting, went 2 for 6 against the Cannons in 2019. Had 4 walks and 2 runs scored with 2 RBIs, and 2 of those hits being doubles. Check over at first, and Messino is in safely, no worries. Larks looking to pitch a lot of guys today. It's originally scheduled to be 7 different pitchers, and we have seen 6 of those. We're still waiting to see what we expect to be Max Castellucci. So no bunt now as Beal is down the count 0-2. Runner takes off for second. Evans, the throw down, will get him out as Messino was safe, but when he popped up, he popped completely off the bag, and Brady Evans throws out another runner. And now there's 1 away and a 1-2 count, and the fortunes change for the Cannons really quick. Cade Brown in his collegiate career didn't play for Oklahoma yet, but will be playing next year at San Diego before he transferred to Norman. Made 19 appearances, went 2-1 with 3 starts, striking out 18, and had an opponent batting average of .305. 2-2 count with 1 away and the bases empty in the top of the ninth. To the top of the order, Miles Beal. Swung on and missed. Back-to-back outs quick. There was a single, but then a throw-out and a strikeout. And Cade Brown makes their 2 away. And we've lost our scoreboard. That is strikeout number 2 on the season. Excuse me. Strikeout number 6. Cade Brown has only struck out once at the plate, has now struck out 6 on the mound through 2 1/3. This was going to be lying down the right field line, but foul over to the right side of the first base bag. It's Cole Blasi at the dish. 2 for 4 with 2 strikeouts, a single and a double. Brown on the season on the mound made 1 appearance on the second game of the season against the Roughnecks. Came in relief, faced 5 batters and struck out all 5. Looked very good on the mound. No walks or anything. 0-2. Brown got 2 of those batters out on 3 pitch strikeouts. The 0-2 just outside, 1-2. He threw 19 pitches, 15 of those strikes. And threw a first pitch strike to every single batter in that game. The 1-2 to Blasi, swung and a miss, and Cade Brown picks up strikeout number 7. Has struck out 7 of the 8 batters he's faced. And we go to the bottom of the 9th. Larks and Cannons tied. Larks looking to do something here to win the game and not go to extra innings for the second time this week. And due up for the Larks to try and score that run will be Schmidt, Pearson, and Brown, the 3, 4, and 5 hitters. Tough order to go through.
Meet me down at the ballpark, where I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. All of my friends are gonna be there too. Nothing in the world I'd rather do than grab a hot dog burger and a cold beer. You'll hear me yelling out a big cheer, 'cause whether they win or whether they lose, I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. Hayes Larks! I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. I can't wait to see a home run. I know for sure there's gonna be one. I'll call out the players by their first name. Sure am glad I made it to the game. Rain or shine, I'm gonna be there. If the stands are full, I'll bring a lawn chair. So join me down at the old ballpark. I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. Hayes Larks! So join me down at the old ballpark. I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. Hayes Larks!
Bottom of the 9th we go, leading off. Correcting myself from the top of this inning is still Grant Schmidt, but it's the 4, 5, and 6 hitters. Schmidt has been aggressive, swinging all day, and the first delivery he sees from Gordon is outside, and he swings and chases it 0-1 on the left fielder. Schmidt getting his first start at left field in a minute. He skies this one back, down quick, 0-2. Gordon getting Grant to swing. This is Schmidt's second look at Gordon. Larks have retired 11 straight Cannons on the mound, and they've had 3 straight 1-2-3 innings. Excuse me, there was a single in the 9th, but then that runner was thrown out, but still 11 outs straight. 1-2. This delivered to Schmidt, hit hard to left field. Could it be a walk-off home run? It's going to be at the fence, and it won't be caught by Shively, and it's a walk-off home run for Grant Schmidt. You can't write it better than that. The Larks win 8-7 off the bat at Grant Schmidt. Man, the first batter of the 9th, and he sends it to right field and gives the Larks a win, and the Larks are going to celebrate here well. Man, you love to see it. The 4th home run of the season for Schmidt. He leads the team and continues his hot season. After starting the day out 0 for 4, he proves that it's not how you start, it's how you finish. 3 strikeouts and then comes in the 9th, the first batter, and he hits a solo shot to end it here for Grant Schmidt. That is RBI number 10, runs scored number 9, and the Larks move to 7-1 on the season. They're on a 3-game winning streak, and they're still only 3-1 in Rocky Mountain play. This was a non-league game. The Larks are 3-0 against the Cannons in the past 3 years, and the Cannons now fall to 3-2 on the season. They're on a 2-game losing streak, but you can't end it more exciting than that. Grant Schmidt, the hero in today's game. Larks gets runs from Hutchison, Jackson, Kavanaugh, Divis, Pearson, and Brown in this ball game. Pearson drives in 3, Schmidt drives in 1, and Loomis drives in 1 on his birthday. The winning pitcher is Cade Brown. After the Larks throw 6 different arms, we saw Jose Velasquez right before Brown. Before that, it was Munch, Terbeek, Fitzgibbons, and Riggs. But that'll do it here from Larks Park. Larks win 8-7 on the Grant Schmidt walk-off home run to left field. Shively reached up at the wall but couldn't bring it in. And Hayes continues their hot streak, moving on to 7-1. The Larks will be off tomorrow and be back on Friday for game 1 of a 3-game series against the Denver Cougars, as they look to bounce back, or it's not bounce back, but continue their hot streak against the Cougars. That'll be a conference series, but the Larks win 8-7 here. Again, Grant Schmidt, the hero. This has been Carson Ackerman on the call, signing off on Larks Network. Thank you for tuning in, and have a great night, ladies and gentlemen.